Hello students, welcome to Good Learners. This is Safia Siddiqui, your mentor for history. The chapter that we're going to be talking about today is how, when and where. Yes, your first chapter in history. So are you ready to get your how, when and where answered? Yes, so let's begin. So students, have you asked the questions of how, when and where before? Attach these questions to anything and you'll get its history. For example, your cell phone. How did the idea of a first cell phone came? When was the first cell phone made? Where did the production start? It's fun to know that if you go 30 years back, your light, slim smartphone used to be a cell phone of 1 kg. Fun, right? So let's see what actually is history. So history is about the changes that occur over time. The wheels that we find now with such superior technology are so different from the ones that people used 100 years ago, right? How do we know the story of it? What we do is we study history. Now I know students that it's difficult remembering the dates. We fail to remember our friend's birthday and ma'am, you're asking us to remember when King Ashoka was born? Well, don't worry. History today, it's not just about the dates. Earlier it was confined to the questions of when, but now we've moved forward into the dimension of how and where. So as I said earlier, history is the study of people, their actions, decisions, interactions and behavior. Now when we talk about dates, do you think we can attach a particular date to a habit like drinking tea? So when did Indians first start drinking tea? Can you answer that? I know I cannot. The Britishers too came to India in groups and settled all over the country over a period of time. They did not necessarily fix a date to start ruling, right? So to summarize, we cannot fix a particular date to every event in history. Now let's see how the questions asked in history have changed over time. I told you all how the focus has changed from asking the questions of when to the questions of how. Let's look at the examples. So the questions asked earlier were when was the king born? When did he get married? When did he die? The questions were focused on this one particular person and everything was explained as a part and parcel of his perspective. Now the questions have changed. Historians now ask the questions of how. How did the cities and kingdom develop? How did the culture spread? How did the people earn their livelihood? Now the perspective has changed. Historians now focus on the overall development, overall narrative or story of a place, taking in consideration the perspective of everyone. So students, now let's see what are the other debates that we focus on now. How people earn their livelihood, what did they eat, where, celebrate, how did they celebrate, how cities and markets developed, the economy of the place, festivities and geography of the particular place in focus. So these are the questions that are asked now. Now when we talk about our country India and focus on the British rule, the time period got divided on the basis of the different viceroys that ruled then. So our focus shifts on Lord Mountbatten's rule or Lord Curzon's rule or Warren Hastings' rule. Now let's ask questions differently. Can we write the history of this period differently? Can we not focus on the economic conditions instead of just focusing on the ruler? What about the common men? How did the different minority groups earn their livelihood? Can we not ask these questions and get a wider perspective to know the history of that place better? So students, let's have a look at a very important term in history, which is periodization. So in order to facilitate the study and analysis of history, historians categorize the past into divisions and call them different periods. तो हमारे पास्ट को अलग अलग कैटेगरी में डाला जाता है और ताकि उन्हें अच्छे से पढ़ा जा सके. Now James Mill in 1817 wrote the book A History of British India. In his book, he divided India's past into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim and British. I know, right? Dividing the country's past on the basis of religion when clearly so many religions have cohabited in India together. It's pretty weird. Now according to James Mill, the Hindu and Muslim period had despotic rulers. Despotic का मतलब होता है काफ़ी सख्त, काफ़ी ज़्यादा cruel. There was inequality, religious intolerance and people were not satisfied according to him in the Hindu and Muslim Raj. Now according to his perspective, with the advent of British rule, civilization started in India. He thought that only British were capable of civilizing India and for that they needed to have control all over the country. Now after him, Indian historians have also tried to classify India's past into three periods: ancient, medieval and modern. And I'm sure इसके बारे में आपने पढ़ा होगा. The modern being the time where there was freedom, equality and economic growth. Now students, another important concept that we talk about is colonial. Now let's see first what actually is colonization. Subjugation of one's country by another is known as colonization. Like the British, they set up their colonies in India. This led to political, economic, social and cultural changes. They subjugated. Subjugated का मतलब होता है dominated. They dominated the control over the Nawabs and the local kings. Further, they controlled the economy and collected taxes too. So how was the colonial rule in India then? There was no equality. Britishers considered themselves superior and hence it was marked by inequality and no freedom. So students, we've spoken about James Mill and his perspective. Let's talk about different sources of history then. The first source that we talk about are administrative records. Now the Britishers were very particular when it came to maintaining records. They focused on the act of writing. Every agreement, decision, plans were written and preserved in record rooms. They also built specialized institutions like the archives and museum for this purpose. So what were the specialized institutions? The archives and museum. Now in the earlier 19th century, they wrote the records manually. They practiced calligraphy for it. Later on, with the advent of printing press, records started getting printed. The National Archives of India was built in 1920. So students, other important source includes surveys. A survey is a detailed study through which we collect information. Even now you fill different survey forms, right, for different issues? Well, in history, it's no different. Remote surveys were conducted in villages analyzing the topography, soil quality, flora, fauna, etc. To know about the population of a particular region, census is conducted every 10 years. Now census includes data about the people, their marital status, occupation, sex, etc. Other surveys to map the region are botanical surveys, archaeological surveys, anthropological surveys, forest surveys, etc. But students, the records or the surveys conducted only spoke of the official information that maybe the government wanted us to know. What about the perspective of the common man? In the official records, it says that the British rule was very flourishing and that the people were very satisfied and happy with its rule. But what actually did the people think of the atrocities of the British? How do we know that? To get this information, historians look at the account of pilgrims and travelers, autobiography of famous people, popular booklets and magazines available in local stores, views of leaders, thinkers, writers in newspapers, and the accounts of public debates, etc. But then again, these were the literate sources. What about the tribal stories? How do we know their history? So to summarize, this chapter makes you wonder and think in perspective. It makes you focus on everything that is wrong with the way we study history today. It makes you want to find solutions for it. So students, if you ask the right questions, you won't be bored of history anymore. With this, we come to the end of the chapter. If you think that the content was helpful, like and share this video and subscribe to Good Learners for more.